specialist. As I've promised all of you, today will be the episode 9 of the Parent Math Mastery the series. Okay, in this episode, I'm going to cover total value or number time value concept. Alright, okay, so in this concept, as you can see here, alright, I've already written down the sum. I'm going to break down to you the steps later on. The steps will be written on the board as well. So I just want to identify or let you know about this concept. This concept actually requires you to identify two things. One is the number of items, another one is the value of the item given. Okay, so in this kind of question, if you want to apply this concept, you must identify these two things first. Number one, the number of items. Number two, the question will also give you the value of the items. Okay, if you see this number and value in the question, then you apply the total value number time value concept. Okay, so how are we going to solve this sum? As usual, whenever we have a problem sum, don't just jump into it, but I want you to read the question properly. Do a one-time reading with your child together, or get your child to read to you, and you also have to read it yourself. And the next step in second time reading is to identify the keywords. Okay, alright, so I'm going to do the first time reading here. Lily paid a total of $81 for 8 books and 3 magazines. Each book cost thrice as much as a magazine. How much did the 3 magazines cost? As I mentioned to you, this is number time value concept, or we are going to find the total value concept. Okay, in questions like this, you need to, number one, identify the number of each item. In this story, the items given is actually books and magazine. Do we know the number given? We know there are 8 books and 3 magazines. The number of item given, 8 books, 3 magazine. Okay, and then the next step is to identify the value of each item. Now, for the books and magazine, they give you the value. In this case, the value is actually the cost. Okay, the value is actually the cost. So look here, each book costs thrice as much as a magazine. Yes, they do give us the value. Okay, but they just tell us it's thrice as much. But that is the cost. Okay, you must differentiate the cost and the number. It's different. Number is the number of item. The cost is the value of the item given. Understand? Okay, and then after we have all the information here, we're going to draw the table and input all info. Now, what are the information? I'm going to underline the keywords. These are the keywords. Okay, Lily paid a total of $81. This is my total. Okay, for books. How many books? There are 8 books. And magazines. How many magazines? There are 3 magazines. These are my number. These are my numbers. Okay, so I'm going to put here numbers. These are my number of items, the number, the amount, the number of items. Okay, each book costs. This one they say cost, right? Cost means it's the value. As I mentioned here, the value is the cost. Okay, value of the item. Cost thrice as much as a magazine, which means the book thrice as much as. Remember my magic phrase. As much as many as. Remember that magic phrase? Okay, whenever you have that magic phrase, the first number, the thrice, belongs to the first item, which is 3 units belongs to the book. Anything after as many as, if the first item is a whole number, you give them a 3, right? Whole number. The second item will always have 1 unit. So means book is 3 units, magazine is 1. I repeat. After the magic phrase as many as or as much as, if the first, look at the first number of the first item you give them 3, a whole number. The second item will have 1, always 1, if the first item is a whole number given. Understand? Okay, right? So in this case, the value of the book is 3 times as much as a magazine. Book is 3 unit, magazine is 1 unit. Okay, I'm going to use units. Then the question is asking how much did the 3 magazines cost. I want to find the cost of the 3 magazines. Did we find all the steps needed? We have the number of each item. Yes. Do we have the value of the item? Yes, we have the value of item. Now the next step is to draw the table. I'm going to draw the table. Okay. So we're going to draw the table like this. And then because this is the total value number time value concept, we're not going to draw the table like the BCA table anymore. We are going to draw the table in the number time value concept table. Okay, it's a different table. It's a table, but the dividing of the columns is different. Okay, so how many things are there? Number one, we have the number. We have the value column, number column, value column, and of course we're going to have the total value column at the side. Okay, so we're going to divide it into 4 equal columns. This is how it looks like, 4 equal columns. Okay, why 4? The number 1, of course here put items, right? Then after that will be the number. Here is my value. Here is my total value. Okay, how many items are there in the story? As mentioned, there are books and magazines. So we're going to divide the table into 2 big columns like that. Okay, here is books. Here is magazine. Okay, right? Can you see? If it's too small, maybe I can make it bigger a bit. Okay. This is magazine. I put a mag in here, magazine, right? Okay, now we are going to input the information that we have already underlined, right? So let's go and put in the information. Before that, I want you to know that the value just now we identified is actually units. Remember, books 3 unit, magazine 1 unit. So the value here is actually the units. And actually, this is actually the cost of it. We identify this is the cost. So the value here is actually the cost of the book or the cost of the magazine. So here is also in units form. Total value is also the cost. Will be the cost of the items of the books and the magazine. Are we ready to fill up the boxes? Okay, it's going to be very easy. We go by sentence. Sentence number 1, paid a total of $81. So the total we put one side first. Okay, we want the different keywords. Okay, 8 books and 3 magazines. So books how many? Number, there are 8. Magazine, 3. Like that. Okay, next one, each book cost. Cost is the value. How many book? 3. Unit, put a U. Okay, for unit. To differentiate. Okay, and then magazine how many? 1 unit. Alright. And then we want to find the total cost or the total value. How do you find total value? Very easy. You see my concept? Total value is equal to number times value. Number, value. To find total value, what do? We times. Okay. So now 8 times 3 is equal to 8 times 3. U is equal to 24U. U must follow. Okay. Next one. 3 times 1U equals to 3U. Now, can we find the total number of units or the total value representing the items? Yes, we can. How do we do that? We take 24U plus 3U, we get 27U. And this 27U is the total. This is the total. This is my total cost. Just now, the first sentence they say Lily paid a total of $81, which means 27 unit is actually $81. What do we want to find in this story? We want to find how much did the 3 magazine cost. I want to find how many U? I want to find 3U in the story. How do we find 3U? Isn't it easy? It's very straightforward already, right? Okay. So we take 27U represent $81. Always find 1U. That is 81 divided by 27. That is 3. And then we are going to find 3U here. 3U is 3 times 3 equals to $9. Which means 3 magazines cost $9. Easy? Is it very, very straightforward after we get this step? Yes, it is. But the difficulty or maybe the confusion here, I want to give you an alert, is the part where you need to, the confusion here is that parents, you must identify where is the number and then where is the value. Okay, I want to show you here, this method or this concept is good for questions where proportions of objects are given, which means they are objects, right? They are items. In this case, they are books and magazine. And proportions are given, means the number of items is given, then the cost is also given. Alright? So, the value can vary. It can be given as a cost. the price, or the mass, or the number of item, or the volume, or the weight, or the amount. Okay, so all this is actually under the value. So whenever you see questions where you have number and then you have value given, then straight away think of this concept. Total value equals to number times value concept. Then after that, you input in the boxes. Okay, in the boxes you must have 4 columns. Okay, one is for the items, one is for number, then value, total value. Then it's very easy because the concept is really number times value, right? You must remember to times. Number times value, you get total value. Number times value, you get total value. Okay, easy, clear? Can? What I want you to do is, at home, I want you to actually copy back this question, and I want you to try it out on your own first, and then when you're confident enough, you try it out with your children. And this question usually happens or occurs in exam. Okay, of course, this is the foundation, or this is the basic, but the numbers might be bigger, the items might be more, okay, but the basis is still the same, right? So if you are able to understand this basic level of the total value concept, I'm sure you're able to do the different sums. And this sum, as usual, it will come out for PSLE exam. So for those parents whose child is in P4, P5, P6, you can try out this sum already. Okay, or if you have questions like this in the assessment book, you may want to try this concept already instead of the other concept you've been using. Maybe the models, throw away that model and try this method. Okay, because at Genius Young Minds, we make math concepts easy. I want it to be easier for you parents to understand so that you can actually teach your children better, to be a more effective parent math educator. Understand? Okay, so take note of the steps here. Alright, and then take note of how it is, or this method is good for which kind of question. Take note of this left hand side portion here. Okay, alright, so parents, if you have any questions or you need help to actually coach or teach your children in mathematics, as you know, parents, especially the PSLE parents, you have less than 3 months to PSLE. So if you have not done anything, then you have to do something now, because it is time to actually boost your child's math grades. Okay, it is not for you to actually take it easy as a parent on your side. You need to actually work together with your children so that they can achieve the grade that they want for PSLE. Alright, we have our workshops already resuming. This Sunday will be our first workshop resuming after the month of Ramadan. Okay, so click on this link, alright, to actually register for the workshop and to find out more details about the workshop. The workshop is free. This is where I'm going to teach you concepts. I'm going to guide you and your children along together with this concept. I'm going to share with you more on how you can actually boost your child's math grade just like that. Okay, alright, so just click on this link. If you need extra tuition classes for your children, extra coaching, and you think it's time for you to switch classes, then you may want to find out more. You can also click on that link or another link I'm going to post on the post itself. Alright, so if you need me to guide or coach your children in mathematics, my classes are only in Punggol, that is taught by myself. You can click on the link on the post itself. Other classes we have in Tampines and Jurong. You can actually click on that link and then you can find out more details. But let me just tell you, come for the workshop, because the workshop is free. You're going to benefit a lot. You're going to get, you're going to be interactive, okay? I'm going to be there teaching your child and yourself as well. It will be very interactive, full of information, okay? And you're gonna find out how to improve your child math grade just like that. Another one, we are actually coming up with another PSLE course or program. As you know, is less than 3 more months to PSLE. You're gonna come out with Speed PSLE Fever program. Details are coming out very fast. What is that all about? That is actually an accelerated program for PSLE. Accelerated means speed, fast. Okay, we have less than 3 months, so we don't have a lot of time to actually waste. Okay, we're going to cover a lot, but in a shortcut manner, a very speed manner. You're going to find out more. Stay tuned for the details. The details are going to come out very soon this week as well. Okay, so parents, remember that you have the key to your child's math success, and please remember it starts as early as at P3 level, because that is where the foundation, the basis is built for PSLE. Okay, don't just wait until P6 and then you do something. Don't wait till P5 when he or she start failing, then you think it's time for you to do something. Do not do that. Fundamentals is also very important. Okay, P5 parents, if you are listening, P5, this is the time where you prepare for PSLE, not next year. this year, now. Because in P5 level, that's where a lot of concept will be crammed, and your child will be very pressured. And when they're pressured, their mark starts to dip, okay, and they cannot absorb more concepts. That is very important for PSLE. Let's start preparing now. Okay, click on that link. I'm going to see you and your child during the workshop. Alright, so this have been Hidayah from Junior's Young Minds. I'll see you and your child on the other side. Goodbye.